I'm in my science notebook. We are, my hideous frog, we are going to take super simple basic notes. Yeah, we're gonna start life cycles. So I'm gonna put the date. If I'm writing, you're writing. You should have your science notebook out. I'm gonna say, just a pencil really, because I don't have a highlighter with me. So this is what I have. Give yourself a heading that says life cycles. I'm gonna write down a few things here. Guys, if at any point I'm going too fast, writing too fast, talking too fast, just pause me and then unpause me and we'll keep going. I'm gonna give myself a bullet point that says all living things, and I'm gonna put all in capital letters and I'm gonna underline it. All living things grow in predictable stages called life cycles. All living things grow in predictable stages called life cycles. Predictable means that we know what's going to happen next. How a baby will turn into a toddler, and a toddler turns into a child, and a child turns into an adult at some point. Okay, it just means that they're going to grow steadily as they get older. The big thing for us, though, when they talk about life cycles, is they're really looking at animals. And specifically, there's two big important ones where we're looking at insects. So if you're ready, I want you to put a bullet point. If not, finish writing and then move on with me. We're going to put a bullet point that says life cycles of insects. Underneath this, I'm going to put 4 things. If at any point I'm writing too fast, talking too fast, going too fast, just pause me and unpause me when you're ready. I'm going to put that all insects, and I'm going to put all in capital letters, and I'm going to underline it. All insects start off as eggs, which means the female or the girl insect lays an egg, or eggs, multiple eggs. I'm gonna skip a line and put a dash. I'm gonna say all insects, and again, all is capital and underlined. All insects go through metamorphosis. I'll spell it out in just a second. METAMORPHOSIS. All insects go through metamorphosis after birth. Remember, if you need to pause me because I'm going too fast, pause me, write down what you need, unpause me when you're ready. I'm going to put that big word again, metamorphosis. It's METAMORPHOSIS. Metamorphosis is just a fancy way of saying the way an insect grows and changes. So after they're born, how they change as their life goes on. Metamorphosis means the way an insect grows and changes. I'm going to put 2 more things here. No, I'm sorry. Well, one. I'm going to put there are 2 types of metamorphosis. And we're only going to do one right now. So there are 2 types of metamorphosis. It's either complete metamorphosis or incomplete metamorphosis. I'm going to wait for just a second because I know I'm probably writing way too fast for some of you. I want you to get down what you need. We're going to draw in complete metamorphosis, and it's just life like circles and arrows. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So if you're like, can't believe she's making me write more, you're almost done, I promise. I'm going to start on my next page. If you're not ready, I need you to pause and I need you to finish writing down everything that you need. If you are ready, I want you to put complete metamorphosis. METAMORPHOSIS. So I want you to give yourself a circle. It doesn't have to be super big, but it does need to be big enough for you to write in, okay? I'm going to put a 1 up here because this is going to be the first stage. At the top, I'm putting egg. Okay, the very first step is that a female insect or a girl insect lays eggs. If I'm writing it in my notebook, you should be writing it in your notebook. I'm going to draw an arrow that points away, and it's going to lead me to another circle. I'm going to put a 2 here. The second stage is called larva, Larva. Okay, these are just born. These don't look like the adult insect. I'm going to say that most have a worm-like shape. If you think about the caterpillars, because caterpillars, butterflies, they go through complete metamorphosis. Even the ladybugs go through complete metamorphosis. So these are just born, but they don't look like the adult. The caterpillar is going to turn into a butterfly. Caterpillar looks nothing like a butterfly. Those ladybug larvae, where I'm going to draw it really quick. You guys know I'm not very good at drawing, so just bear with me. Where it has like, kind of like that long body. They look nothing like a ladybug. They're not even red with black dots on them. They were black with lines across, okay? They just do not look like they're supposed to. They don't look like the adult version of the bug that they actually are. When it says they have a worm-like shape, their body was longer. And if you think about a caterpillar, okay, it does kind of look like a worm. So all insects will start off as eggs. That's always going to be step 1. The second stage or the second phase in a complete metamorphosis is the larva stage. So they just come out. They're just born, but they don't look anything like they're supposed to. This is going to take me, so another arrow, to another circle. And this is where our caterpillars are now. And so this, I'm recording this over the weekend. So when I left on Friday, a lot of the ladybug larvae, they were still moving around in that little dome, but some of them were pretty still. So I think they also should be entering this phase. Our caterpillars for sure are, because most of them were hanging like J's from the top of the cup. They were getting ready to enter into stage 3. So this is called pupa, P-U-P-A. This means that the larva, I'm going to have to write tiny here because my circle's not very big, but the larvae make a cocoon around themselves. So if you want to look at the caterpillars, please just make sure you're super careful, because if they detach from the top of that lid, they will not make it. Even if they do hatch out of the cocoon, because that happened to me one year. One of the kids bumped into it and the cocoon fell, the chrysalis fell from the lid, and it still hatched, but the butterfly's wing, when it was born, it was like, or not born, but when it came out of its cocoon, the wing was bent and the butterfly couldn't fly. So it did end up dying anyways, because it doesn't have what it needs. So if you want to look, this is where both insects should be. The ladybugs, maybe not. Maybe I was misreading what was happening on Friday when I left, but for sure the butterflies, okay? So they're in the pupa stage now. They've made a cocoon around themselves. A big part of this stage is that they don't eat, okay? They don't eat during the pupa stage. So the reason that those caterpillars got so fat so quick is because at the bottom of those cups where it looks like wet sand, it was crushed up milkweed, which is a plant. But they're just in that cup, so all they were doing is moving around and eating. So they got super fat super quick. So they've eaten everything that they've needed to eat, and now they don't eat anymore, okay? While they're in that cocoon and while they're not eating, their body completely changes. So that's what I'm writing. When they are in the larva stage, they do not look like the adult. Caterpillars don't look like butterflies. Those ladybug larvae did not look like ladybugs. While they're in the pupa stage, while they're in the cocoon, they are changing their bodies completely. So if our ladybugs look like they're like kind of like crusted over like C's, that's what they look like in the pupa stage. So they just kind of like freeze over like this, but their body is completely changing. I'm gonna add down here that they will, I don't want to say this. Their body completely changes. I'm just going to put that I'm going to put begins. I'm going to put that it begins to look like the adult. So while the caterpillar is in its cocoon or its chrysalis, its body is going to change completely to look like the adult, to look like a butterfly. While the ladybug larva is like hunched over like a C, that's them in their cocoon, and their bodies are going to completely change shape and color to end up looking like what a ladybug is supposed to look like. Once they're done in the pupa stage, because that should take a while, maybe like a few days, a week or so, this is it. So this is going to be the last and final step. So I'm going to put a 4 here. When they come out of that pupa stage, when the butterflies emerge from their chrysalis, their cocoons, when the ladybugs emerge from their cocoons, they're adults. So I'm going to put that they are no longer larvae. and they now look like the adult. Okay, so the caterpillars come out looking like caterpillars. The ladybugs come out looking like ladybugs. I'm going to draw another arrow that would point back to egg, because once they're an adult, they can lay eggs of their own. So then the cycle would continue and start over again. Complete metamorphosis, I'm going to use an acronym, and an acronym is letters that stand for a word. So I'm going to use the acronym ELPA, E-L-P-A. Complete metamorphosis goes with ELPA because it's egg, larva, pupa, adult. Please make sure that you have written down everything that I have written down, because we're going to pick up and move on from here tomorrow.